Hello, I'm attorney and mediator Blaine McCarthy, founder of the Christian Lawyer Directory, and today we're shining our member lawyer spotlight on Olivia Chick in Omaha, Nebraska. Good morning, Olivia.
Morning. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for being here. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. I am originally from just outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I moved to Omaha, Nebraska about 2 years ago for my husband's job. We've really been enjoying life here in Omaha, and for all who haven't been, that probably sounds shocking because it's just Nebraska. You would think that there's just like corn and cows out here, but there's actually a lot to do. It's a really cool city. Um, They have a lot of great restaurants and parks and sporting events, and museums. So we've been enjoying it a lot. Um, a little more about me when it comes to my faith in particular. I gave my life to the Lord at a very early age and have been following him ever since. My parents gave their lives to the Lord before I was born. So my siblings and I had the privilege of being raised in a God fearing home.
Mm, tremendous.
Uh, yeah, it's been quite a blessing. And, obviously my faith journey has had its peaks and valleys, but to this day, I can attest to the fact that the Lord is faithful.
Amen.
Um, so when I was younger, I always dreamed of my future career, and I didn't want to be a doctor or a professional athlete or a musician like most kids say they want to be. I always wanted to be a lawyer. So looking back, that does really make me laugh because I didn't know anyone like who was I knew one lawyer, and he was great, but the job of a lawyer didn't sound that interesting. I feel like for a kid, but now I feel like God had placed that desire in my heart a long time ago because it was a career that He was calling me to even way back then.
That's great.
I attended Westchester University for college and received my undergraduate degree in English. And then I continued on to law school, where I attended the David A. Clark School of Law at the University of the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C.
Mm.
So that's kind of big picture, a little bit about me and how I got here.
So, Olivia, why don't you tell us about your law practice? You told us that you're here now, you're in Omaha, your childhood dream has come to reality. Tell us about your law practice.
Yes, so I am now an associate attorney at Verbacki Law Mediation. I am able to practice law in both Iowa and Nebraska. And I primarily work on family law related cases dealing with custody disputes, divorce, domestic abuse charges, paternity disputes, and all things like that. I've recently been able to get into practicing probate and estates, wills, things like that, and that has been interesting for me. I've liked that as well. Um,
It's kind of a
an
corollary to family
interest,
law, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
they
it's
overlap a
very
bit.
closely tied in.
Yeah,
That's why I felt like I had to do it because I was like, everyone comes into my office. I meet all these people that also need, oh, guardianships and wills. So why don't I just do it all? That sounded good. So that's
sure.
what I did. Another interesting facet of my practice is I'm a mediator in the state of Nebraska. And I just enjoy mediation because mediation is far less adversarial than litigation. And I enjoy helping parties mediate disputes because there are just a lot of benefits to mediation. Costs less, takes less time, and reduces the potential for bad blood between parties. So that's kind of all encompassing what I do as my law practice.
Wonderful. Well, what can your clients expect of you, Olivia?
Mm, when considering whether to hire me as a lawyer, there are a few characteristics I think that set me apart from other attorneys. Um, the first one would be that I'm incredibly accessible. I feel
Mm,
that my clients are entitled to updates on their case, and I don't like keeping my clients in the dark about how a case is going. Um, I take calls really quickly, I return calls quickly. I just know that if I was going through a similar thing, I'd be kind of losing my mind if people weren't getting back to me and things like that. So that's what I try to do in my practice. Another thing that kind of sets me apart would be that I care deeply about being trustworthy and reliable. And I know that lawyers are not often revered for their honesty by the general public,
Sadly.
but my identity is found in my, you know, identity as a child of God, not my career. So I strive to honor God in my legal practice by being trustworthy. That's often reflected in my billing practices or in the advice I give or in the diligence that I put into every case. Um, One of the last things that definitely I think sets me apart from other attorneys would be that I pray for my clients. So
Hmm.
over the course of representation, I do get to know people very well, and I start to know their thoughts and feelings, and I kind of have a front row seat to like the hardest part of a person's life, um, oftentimes. So I feel like the Lord has placed me in this interesting position to be able to encourage my clients and pray for them when they don't have strength to pray for themselves. So it's a unique opportunity that I'm very thankful for and something that I think is beneficial in, me representing certain people. So
Well, Olivia, it sounds like God knew what He was doing when He put that on your heart as a kid to be a lawyer. I mean, you're speaking truth and love to people. It's certainly within a family law context, where they're in a very trying time. So uh,
I
good
know,
on.
can you believe he knows what he's doing?
I do.
Shocking.
I know. Who would have ever guessed? Well, that's just
I know.
tremendous. Thank you, Olivia, for sharing those insights about yourself and your practice. And folks, thank you for being here and watching this episode of the Christian Lawyer Directory Member Lawyer Spotlight. We hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you.